I know the YouTube drum cover market is like totally oversaturated at this point, so why throw my hat in the ring? Well, to me, this is a platform in general to tell stories, and that's the thing that I really comes down to at the core of like what my channel is all about and why I do all the things I do. It's about our own personal journey and our story, and this seemed like a good way, one avenue to tell this side of my story about music and why I'm passionate about it. So I'm not doing these covers just to get views or anything. These are covers that have some kind of story to tell for me. And I am what I am.
I am what I am, and that's all what I am.
As a drummer, I'm not here to impress anybody or do any crazy stick tricks or anything. I'm mostly self-taught. I'm a much more intuitive, creative type than a technical performer. I'm not as interested in like preciseness and technique and blowing people away as I am conveying my passion and my love for this kind of stuff. That's why I do this in the first place. That's why I make these videos and have this channel. So I've never been one to play these songs exactly like they're recorded or performed by the original drummers. This is all about how I interpret them. I like to imagine that if I were ever the drummer for this particular band, that this is how I would play the song, based on my own style and preferences and technique and stuff like that. I like to do things my way. So this is me playing my version of the song, not me just playing over what the other person already did. Of course, when I originally recorded this video, I totally forgot to include a little extra context about my set and my equipment and everything. So my first set was a CB starter kit, came with cheap cymbals and cheap hardware just to get things started. And I used that one in high school with my first hardcore new metal band, Minion. But then when I graduated from high school, I moved to New York City to go to college, and I knew that New York had practice studios with kits provided, and I also knew that there's no way I would find a place in New York where I could store a kit. So I sold my first kit, and I just had like a practice pad little setup, but I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to. I didn't have any bands while I was busy in college until I met a guitarist and songwriter, I think my senior year of college, and he knew somebody that was trying to sell their cheap old kit, so I got another lackluster but get the job done kind of kit. And then I upgraded and expanded on that one as the next few years went by, and I got back into playing with bands. And then that piecemeal kit was the one that I moved to Maui to continue the band that I was in at the time, the Mobius Project. But then when I ended up moving away from Maui, I'd already paid to ship my kit there, and I couldn't afford to ship it back, so I sold it. And I was without one again for a while, until I put myself out there looking for a band that had a kit available, and I found one. And again, it was another super beat up, incomplete set. So again, I had to kind of piecemeal the hardware and the cymbals. But that one got me by for several years, up until a few years ago. A friend of the band who was switching over to like songwriting, guitar playing from being, I guess, like a prog metal drummer. And they had a really big double kick drum set with like tons of hardware, lots of extra cymbals. It was all pretty well used, but definitely nicer than anything I'd had up to that point. So with that kit and the one that I had previously, I was able to actually make like two kits, one for our small practice space using the smaller, mostly cheaper stuff that I'd had. And then I know it's not the most glorious thing to look at, but I was able to put together a much better performance and recording kit with the Tomo Rockstar that I got from the friend of the band. But just a note about my equipment and the recording quality. I just want to say, first of all, that I'm not a sound engineer, so I'm just kind of learning and making this up as I go. I've mostly been recording drums either with electric sets or with DIY studios with friends and stuff, so I don't have a huge knowledge base or anything about how to properly record drums like studio quality. But doing these videos is giving me an excuse to finally start experimenting with it myself, so that's just fun to kind of grow my repertoire, even though I'm no pro at it or anything. But also, I'm really big on kind of minimalism and sustainability. I know I could invest in like higher quality equipment and stuff that looks better and sounds better, but I've never been one to get stuff and upgrade just because. I tend to use things until I can't anymore and then get something new, or in my case, preferably used, because I like giving a good home to things that I know will be used. So again, all that's to say that I'm not doing this to show off any skill or equipment or anything. This is just fun for me, and it's fun for me to make this stuff, experiment with it, learn from it, and then share that with the world. So I know this isn't the most glossy or amazing thing on the internet, but it's honest. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I'm passionate about it. All right, now that I over-explained that, let's rock.
Let's rock. Let's rock today.